Today on Quays News, we'll be looking at the different ways Manchester hopes to become carbon neutral.
After paying tens of thousands of pounds, how many people find their jobs after earning their degrees?
The entry-level jobs, especially, are really hard to get because people lost their jobs during the pandemic. Have also been applying for the entry-level jobs, so it's been harder for me as a graduate without any prior experience.
Hello and welcome to Quays News. I'm Sam Taylor.
And I'm Mo. Our top stories.
Last month, Andy Burnham announced plans to make Manchester the first carbon neutral city in the UK. But how will this be achieved?
Katie Pran talked to an energy expert to see what's being done to meet this target, as well as what you can do at home.
Over the past decade, we have been taught that our climate is changing and we must do our part to cool this rise. The simple things like turning the lights off and using less water has worked to a degree, but we are now being told to do more. Andy Burnham has set Greater Manchester the goal of becoming a carbon neutral city by 2038. Many companies and schemes are working with the Mayor to tackle this climate crisis.
So I'm Greater Manchester Combined Authority, so what we do is we look to support people and advise them on how to take things forward. So if they've got single glazing, change that to double glazing. They can do that through the Green Homes Grant Local Authority Delivery Scheme, which is available for people that have got less than £30,000 per annum income. The scheme offers everything from fabric insulation, so external wall insulation, air source heat pumps, new doors, new windows if they've got single glazing currently, or they can possibly have smart controls. So there's a range of different measures that they can get up to £10,000.
Manchester Council have partnered up with businesses like Octopus to get more electric vehicles on the road.
Projections are a bit interesting. Some people are saying it could be as soon as 2025. At least there should be around 1 million electric vehicles by that time. Also favourable benefit in kind taxes that mean that you save even more money on that. So it can make going green actually one of the cheapest things you can do.
Andy Burnham's B-bikes are currently being trialled to the public to encourage other modes of transport like cycling. This is part of Burnham's vision for the B network, which is to reduce carbon emission on the roads. The Wheelie Good Idea is set to launch officially in June 2022, and the £1.5 billion investment will mean Greater Manchester is to have the largest cycling network in the country. If these goals are met, Greater Manchester would have removed 1 million tonnes of carbon and will have met the goal 12 years before the UK is set to become carbon neutral in 2050. Katie Brown, Quays News.
Now, here's some food for thought. We all like a Christmas dinner, but how much of it do you leave on your plate? During the winter months, more food is thrown out than at any other time of the year.
Our reporter Liz is here with Chef Danish Patel about food waste and what we can do in our homes.
Thanks, guys. So, over the Christmas period, 270,000 tonnes of food is wasted, including 2 million turkeys, 5 million Christmas puddings and 74 million Christmas pies. Why is that, Dinesh?
I think during the Christmas period, people tend to go into a bit of a frenzy when they go into the supermarket. There'll be the introduction of a new product, something fancy that they want, or these unexpected guests that they envision that may turn up. So people have this tendency to go and literally stock the cupboards to the very brim.
And why do you think so much is wasted when it can be used throughout the year?
I think with regards to this particular period, we, live by sell-by dates. People buy things that are perishable, and as well, they don't really know how to reuse their leftovers. I think at this time of year, it's really important that people educate themselves. They only buy what they need or cook what they need and learn to reuse their leftovers properly, I think.
Do you think there's panic in the having one day where the supermarket's closed? Do you think that makes people want to go more and get more?
I think so. I think we all have this tendency as soon as, you can't go and buy a loaf of bread, all of a sudden people start to think that they need to stock up completely. But like you're saying, it's just that one day and it's not really going to make much of a difference. And we always do have that little bit extra at Christmas either which way, and much more for the season as well.
How should people be handling the Christmas leftovers? Because Christmas dinner leftovers, they can be so huge. What should people be doing with them?
I think first and foremost, it's about storage. You need to educate yourself. There's lots of different resources online to find about how we can keep leftover bits of turkey, our veg that we've not used, keep all of that really well, and also about getting creative with how we reutilize those leftovers. I mean, the festive period is all about entertaining, and when we've got such a surplus of food and leftovers in the fridge, we can easily convert those into amazing dishes to serve to our guests once again.
You could pick one dish that you'd use your Christmas leftovers for, what would it be?
Oh, I think for me, there's always tons of panettone and sweetbreads left over. So for me, a really good bread and butter pudding with all of that is the best treat.
That's brilliant. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thanks, Liz. Now, later on, we'll be hearing how you'll be staying environmentally conscious this Christmas time.
Now, if you are a student, on average, you will spend at least 30,000 on year course, but does that degree guarantee you a job?
Favour Ozubu talked to graduates about seeking jobs after graduating this year.
In the past week, students from universities in the UK took a bow after walking across the stage for their graduation. Sadly, some of these graduates may face the challenge of taking jobs that aren't in their field of study or no jobs at all. Most graduates, if not all, hope to get a job or internship in business or firms that apply to their field of study. And since the lockdown in 2020 had caused some jobs to cancel their internship programs, most graduates do not have enough job experience for their portfolio in order to obtain a graduate level job. Does your degree have anything to do with the job you're doing right now?
Yes, so when I finished my degree, I started with a part-time job as a customer service representative. And it didn't really have a lot to do with the degree, but transferable skills from both of my degrees. And then I got a job as a marketing assistant, so it does have to do with my degree.
A survey carried out by the Office of National Statistics showed that in 2020, around 12% of graduates work in retail and 70% of graduates hold positions below their education level. How has the job seeking process been so far?
It hasn't been easy because the entry-level jobs especially are really hard to get because people who lost their jobs during the pandemic have also been applying for the entry-level jobs. So it's been harder for me as a graduate without any prior experience to really get into the job market.
Hopefully, in consecutive years, students who have worked hard to earn a good degree will get their desired jobs in order to open doors to more opportunities. Favour Ozubu, Quays News.
Let's look at today's top stories from around the UK.
Prime Minister Boris Johnson apologised for a video that showed his former Press Secretary Allegra Stratton joking about dozens of ministers enjoying a Christmas party last year. Earlier this afternoon, Stratton announced her resignation.
I can understand how infuriating it must be to think that the people who have been setting the rules have not been following the rules, Mr. Speaker, because I was also furious to see that clip. And Mr. Speaker, I apologise unreservedly for the offence that it has caused up and down the country, and I apologise for the impression that it gives.
Despite his apology, he said that there was no party and that no rules were broken. The Scottish National Party has called for Boris Johnson to resign, while Labour leader Keir Starmer said the Prime Minister should call off his application into the party and just admit wrongdoing.
They knew there was a party, they knew it was against the rules, they knew they couldn't admit it, and they thought it was funny. It's obvious what happened. Anton Decker ahead of the Prime Minister on this.
According to Whitehall sources, there could be a potential move to Plan B coronavirus measures in England. This is a result of Omicron cases numbers doubling every couple of days. However, there is a question of how many people will follow these restrictions after today's events.
Anyone over the 40 can now apply for a booster jab 3 months after their second dose of COVID-19 vaccination. Assisting vaccines should still protect against the Omicron variant, a World Health Organization official has said.
When it comes to playing football, communication is key. However, it's been proven that men find it difficult to talk to each other off the pitch.
Our very own football team, Salford FC, is trying to combat this with their new campaign, No Substitute for Talking.
Hannah Patterson reports.
The No Substitute for Talking campaign is a part of Health Assured and Salford City FC's forum and campaign to normalise and utilise men's mental health and open up that conversation. Well, the data and information shows us that more men do suffer and struggle with their mental health. We know that as a fact, and I've kind of lived that journey from the age of 12, where most of the damage done to me with regards to my mental illness was through stigma, judgment, lack of awareness and lack of understanding. And what I was taught from an early age is men don't talk. We get on with it, we cope, and that's not true.
Gary Neville says he wants to be known for more than just being an ex-footballer. He wants to be known for something better. He talks about the importance of mental health in the business.
And I was looking at myself in the mirror. I've got pictures of myself at Valencia, and I've got pictures of myself that I look at and think, I'm ill here. I was struggling. I was actually asking to put out my misery in the end and be sacked.
The main driver for the campaign is to let people know that we're there. Whether that's calling Health Assured on the helpline number, whether that's speaking to us as staff at the football club, or speaking to your mate. It can be anybody, and the whole point of the campaign is just to encourage people to talk.
A local football club in Salford have been inspired by Salford FC's campaign. They started their team to help their own mental health.
Men definitely struggle with opening up, talking about mental health.
The whole reason why we started the Weather Boys, just six-a-side, was to get all of us out of the house together.
Yeah, it's a bit of a social activity.
We were quite cooped up after lockdown, to be honest. We weren't getting much sport in, much exercise in, and then a six-a-side league crops up. And really
thought we'd give it a go. But now we see that they're doing like mental health stuff and really like giving it a go.
It definitely gives us aspirations to talk more about that kind of thing.
Yeah. Share your head, unravel what's going on, lift a weight and get it out there. Even though that can be so difficult, it is so important that you reach out towards someone.
Hannah Patterson, Quays News.
Over the last 15 years, body positivity has been pushed back to the forefront of conversation about mental well-being and fashion industry. With this movement, over our attitude towards the different body types has changed dramatically.
Nadine went out to find how the ideal body has changed and the effects it's having on young people.
So sensual. So today I am going to get a butt x-ray.
It's an undeniable trend among women, especially young women. On the back of the Kardashians' popularity, sizable breasts, a snatched waist and a large butt equals a desirable body shape.
My sisters have dared me to get a butt x-ray because there are so many rumors that I have butt implants.
Research on a petamin called a petamin. What a petamin? A petamin.
Apetamin is vitamin syrup. It's marketed as a weight gain supplement. Influencers say it makes weight gain easy.
First started to hear about it from friends, and then I think as time went on, I started to see it more online, mainly YouTube, Instagram. My initial goal was just to gain weight faster.
Fast and easy it is. Apetamin is available in beauty supply stores, and not all pharmacists are happy.
It's easy to get our hands on apetamin because of the internet, really. This is a problem with medications, both licensed and unlicensed medications that we can access from any country in the world.
But it seems to come with a risk. YouTuber Asha Grant claims to have fallen asleep at the wheel after taking a dosage of apetamin.
From my personal experience, I experienced drowsiness, but I was told that it would only last for a few days, but for me personally, it lasted for like a week. I also experienced stomach aches as well.
TIL Healthcare, the makers of apetamin, say, "We are not exporting this product to the UK and we have no information on its availability in the UK." And the sales continue, but so the warnings. Nadine Atsay, Quays News.
Well, as well as promoting a body possibility, more beauty brands ever before are ditching their fillers in their campaigns and redefining what beauty means. Face Trigger reports.
Over the years, beauty companies have been marketing their products on platforms such as Instagram, using Photoshop on their models to sell a false reality. However, with many influencers growing in popularity due to sharing their unedited real selves online, many of these brands have shifted their approach and are being more authentic in their advertising campaigns.
Seeing real skin in the advertising space is incredibly important, not only for a psychological reason with the expectation of what skin actually looks like, but also from an ethical point of view, in the sense that you do subconsciously believe that your skin will look like that digital version of a human being.
In a recent poll which I conducted, some consumers are worried that a brand's authenticity is not valuable as they are just following current social media trends. But why is Photoshop in advertising campaigns so damaging?
I think seeing airbrushed imagery alongside skincare can often make us buy more products, because we're kind of impatient to see that flawless, poreless result.
I spoke with Sam, the CEO of Clear Skin Days. She said, by using retouched images in campaigns, you are not promoting confidence. What you're saying is, this is what you could or should look like, which is manipulative and misleading. According to the Royal Society of Public Health, young people say that 4 out of 5 of the most used social media platforms actually makes their anxiety worse. So maybe the authentic approach which brands are taking is the change that needs to happen.
4, 3, 2, 1.
With Storm Barra raging across Scotland and the north of England, our reporter Connor drew the short straw and has been sent out to see firsthand just how earth-shattering this storm is.
As you can see, I'm live here at Media City, where Storm Barra has finally arrived. You'll see behind me that there is a sculpture that has flattened into the water. The large floating earth did arrive in Salford over the last few days, but due to heavy rain and strong winds, the sculpture has now flattened. Members of the Flat Earth Society will be happy to say that the sculpture is something that they can actually identify with. Following government advice, it now says that people should not make unnecessary journeys, be cautious when travelling, and do not swim in the Quays. Boris Johnson has made an announcement where he did state that this storm has been among the worst that has taken place in the United Kingdom over the last 7 years. I'm Connor McCann, Quays News, Salford.
Thank you, Connor. We heard a lot about sustainability in today's show, and so we want to see what you were doing to make your Christmas environmental friendly.
So we put a poll out here, and you can see we asked people what they're doing to stay environmentally conscious. So you see, the most people here, they're actually recycling their wrapping paper, which is something I never really thought about, but I guess it is something you do with your, with your normal paper, and it just makes sense just because, you're tearing it all up, you're throwing it away. It is something to do. You can also freeze your leftovers as well, and I think a lot of people just wish they were doing more. Are you doing anything, Mo, to make sure?
Yeah, recycle wrapping paper. A lot of people done it. I said, like a lot of 40% people said it.
Yeah? Yeah, that's fair,
That's the new normal now.
It's the new normal, yeah. I guess so, yeah. It's something that I don't think a lot of people have thought about. you know, in the last few years, but it's really come to the forefront is, you know, how can we have a good time at Christmas? How can we give presents to the people we love, but also stay, you know, environmentally friendly? And I think that's really important. You got much Christmas shopping to do, or?
Yeah.
No worries. Oh, well.
Yeah, shopping,
So that's all from us this week. This is the last Quays News before Christmas, so we hope you all have a great holiday and a happy new year.
Before we go, we just want to say thank you to the Gary team for their hard work, and thank you for watching. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.